Hey everybody, Max Master here, back with Marvel Heroes. This time, we've got, of course, Captain America here, and we're on his 2.14 level 52 review. And there's definitely been some changes here, mainly with his basic powers. We now have Heroic Strike, which returns Spirit per hit. We have Shield Swipe, which does an AoE completely around him. That's the first basic power that does that. Very interesting basic power. And then Shield Strike, which now has critical damage on the attack. And Shield Swipe and Heroic Strike are still the best ones. Shield Shield Strike itself, it doesn't do as much damage as the other ones. Heroic Strike is pulling about 16k a second, and Shield Swipe is about 18k a second. And that's single target. That's not counting AoE. That's all I'm doing here. Combat Prowess, that's a nice added feature now. This is doing crit rating, damage rating, and when you hit with a melee power, you get an extra 15% damage negated for 2 seconds. That's kind of a short duration, but you know, it's still there. Vibranium Bash. This is nice. It's now got the extra damage to bosses. Trying to read my own writing. Oh, Aggressive Shout. Not a bad one to use. We no longer have health regen on Captain America. And Captain America, he still has his quick block and everything, but he's kind of more playing into the role of a DPS class than a tank class. So it's a very interesting way to take him. He has a new signature move with a 1-minute cooldown, so I absolutely hate it. 1-minute cooldown in this game, you can call it an ultimate power at that point. It's just horrible. And as you can see, at one point it's 600 defense rating, 600 damage rating, and last 10 seconds, and restore 50% of your spirit. I never found Captain America to be hard to keep up with spirit, but if we put 20 points into it, or I think it'll stop at 16. Yep. I go from 600 damage rating to 1,000 damage rating, and I go from 600 defense rating to 1,700 defense rating. You know, it's not even worth putting points in. So this is a horrible signature move. Someone really didn't think about what they're doing here. For a 1-minute cooldown, a 10-second buff, this is terrible. That's a 1-point wonder. You can use it on a boss to get some extra damage. We got our indestructible shield here. It gives a projectile deflection. It gives defense rating. And it does give a chance to completely block attacks. Very nice ability there. That's really what's awesome about it. It's also an activated ability to negate 60% of incoming damage for 3 seconds. And all those attacks that come in for those 3 seconds are considered blocked. And that kind of keys in with some of these abilities now, where we have cooldowns, and the cooldown is reduced by 1 second when you block an attack. However, this active effect is on a 20-second cooldown, so you're not going to get these abilities to go off every second or anything like that. You know, on a boss, you're going to get a couple extra at best. So it's kind of hard to tell really which abilities start paying out or not according to that. Now, this ultimate ability is definitely reworked and looks very, very cool. So, I mean, that's a lot of damage. You know, he's got a Hulk smash. Looks like Hulk comes down and smashes stuff for some damage. You know, the Avengers hammer down. Looks like Thor comes down and smashes a hammer, and then Iron Man comes in and hits with his repulsors. So that's a pretty cool thing. So I do have a build in mind for him that I'm going to do, and I call it Cap Attack. And everything looks like it transferred over yesterday from the test center to live, so I'm going to go with it. Again, I call the build Cap Attack. I don't know why I like it. I just like it because he's Cap and he's attacking now. And we're going with Shield Swipe because it's cool and it's new and it's one of the few abilities that have ever done it. We're going to stick with Shield Bounce. This is going to be our main AoE killer. We're going to go with Shield Expertise. This is obviously a massive damage buff here. Works the same. We're going to go with Combat Prowess. Again, works the same as before. It's giving us extra damage. And we're going to go with Vibranium Bash. Now, we had 4 choices for damage ability. It's Vibranium Bash, Shield Bash, Airborne Assault, and Torqued Shield Throw. All of them very interesting. The Torqued Shield Throw, though, is on a 6-second cooldown. Airborne Assault is on an 8-second cooldown. And Shield Bash is on a 4-second cooldown. And basically, the Shield Bash works as an execute where you gain damage based on the target's missing health. So up front it sucks, and as the boss starts dying, it's kind of okay. Airborne Assault on an 8-second cooldown is kind of cool. It does a lot of damage. And it's a big AoE. It's more of an AoE thing. Not necessarily important for me against bosses, because even if they're a boss that spawns ads, I'm killing them with shield bounce, because we're going to shield bounce to make sure that our shield expertise is always up. Same thing with Torqued Shield Throw. It just basically spins a shield in a big arc around you to hit a big AoE. Not impressive. It does good damage, but it's not impressive single target damage. And again, if I have any AoE, I'm going to shield bounce. And I'm going to shield bounce anyways, even if there is no AoE, because I want to make sure I'm maintaining the shield expertise. Which led me to Vibranium Bash. It's 40% extra damage against bosses, no cooldown, very low spirit cost, and I can spam it if I want to. And then the final thing we want to do is make sure we have all our 1-pointers. And we're going to have 1 point in Fighting Spirit. Where did that go? Fighting Spirit. Oh yeah, that's the new synergy that sucks. Patriot's Challenge, Finest Hour. We already come with 1 point in Heroic Charge. And we already come with 1 point in Indestructible Shield. And then the rest of the points are going to go in Aggressive Shout. We're going with Aggressive Shout because it's giving us a massive amount of attack speed. And that's going to help us with maintaining life. All I have to do is click and confirm it. And then, of course, I'm going to put Shield Swipe on my AoE, Heroic Charge on my right mouse button for movement. Shield Bounce is my main movement power. Vibranium Bash is my main kill the boss power. We'll just have the extra shout out here. What's nice about the shout powers now is they, once they're active, they can just stay active. We'll have the Fighting Spirit out there to hit when we want it. And I'm going to have Finest Hour down there. Now, Patriot's Challenge is a nice big AoE, so we're going to be working in a nice little combination that we love, Dark Gold Scroll. Seeing how we got the AoE. We had Doom's Medal. I don't feel a need for Doom's Medal anymore. I mean, we could go for it for the active effect because that's 3 seconds. We might take that to 4 seconds. We might take this, the damage negated, from 4 seconds to 5 seconds. But we're always going to be hitting with melee powers. Well, it says fighting power here. That's a melee power for the Vibranium Bash. The Shield Swipe's a melee power. So we got melee pretty much covered. What's the next best medal for him? Of course, is going to be a MODOK medal. So let's get him into a nice fat MODOK. And 350, 550, 625, 7. So they're about the same. We'll go for the real well-rounded one. I don't think I already had one. That's going to be massive amounts of damage. And we're really going to use that against yellows and bosses. So of course I'll show how it works, and we'll do something that's going to be green. Something over 50. Yep, I'm 50. I didn't level them up. Go over to a Kingpin. So I want to make sure your shout's activated. Once it's activated, it's all good. Anything trash-like you throw your shield at, your shield's going to destroy it. And if you're wondering what's going on there, I just hit my challenge after I hit him with the shield, and then I'm Vibranium bashing him. This is the shield swiping effect. It's hitting everything around me. My taunt is actually hitting very hard. There's a yellow, so I'm going to Vibranium bash it. You can see that it dies in 2 hits of the Vibranium bash. It's pretty nasty. We don't need the Doom's Metal anymore. We're doing so much damage. And I know you probably also noticed that I'm not keeping taunt on, or not taunt, but quick block on there anymore. I have very minimalistic use of the quick block. I mean, I could use it for an all-no moment, but that's really what the signature is for. It is a 60% damage reduction, so when you're doing T4 red solos and everything, you're probably going to want that up there. It'll be handy in Doom and everything. You can see that bash is hitting for about 40k. Not a spirit. Even the regular basic attack that I'm using, it's still good enough to build up the spirit. I don't have that good of gear. Although I do have his helmet. It's very nice. So, throw my shield, taunt, Vibranium bash. And that basically burns down the boss pretty easily. If you're having trouble with the boss, you'd switch over to your basic attack so you get all your life on hit. And that's how it works. And of course I got his helmet. Probably one of the best in slot pieces. But I have level 40 gear here. That's it. Darkhold Scroll is really the great thing there. I should have a super advanced super soldier serum here, but I don't. I should have a super heroic Yu-Gi-Oh's charm here, but I don't. And it's still health on his costume with a nice big life on basic power. But that's it. Very, very strong build, much more DPS oriented than tank oriented. So I still like it. He kills stuff pretty adequately. So I hope it helps. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later.